All right, so in this video, we're taking a look at a front load LG washer that's leaking water. Now, understand before we get into this that there are lots of places that your washer can be leaking from, but in this video, we're going to be dealing specifically with these hoses right here that run from your water inlet valve to your detergent dispenser. So to access the inside of the machine that we were just looking at, what you want to do is come to the back of the machine and you want to take a look at these two plastic tabs right here. Each one of these has two screws that holds it in place. There's one on the top and then there's one on the bottom. You want to remove the two that are on the bottom, one on both sides. And now that you've got those out, you can come to the front of the machine. You just want to grab the lid, slide it back. It'll go back about 2 inches or so, and then you can just pull it right off. And then again, this right here is going to be the area that we are dealing with. All these hoses that are going from the water inlet valves to your detergent dispenser. Now, to be able to show you exactly what's happening, I'm going to go ahead and put the machine on the diagnostic mode. To do that, you're going to want to press the spin speed and soil level buttons at the same time, hold them, and then press the power button. We're going to press the start button once, and that'll get the machine slowly spinning. And then we're going to go ahead and press it 3 more times. Once, that's going to drain any water that's in the machine out, and it's going to put the washer on the medium spin cycle. You press it 1 more time, that'll put it on the high spin. And then I'm going to press this again, and as soon as I do that, it's going to start putting water into the machine via these inlet valves through these hoses. And I want you to watch very closely what happens specifically to this one right here. So we're going to go ahead and press that start button. The machine is going to go ahead and slow the spin cycle down. And once it stops, it'll start putting water through this solenoid right here. And when it does, you can see that this hose where it's trying to push water through is ballooning. This is significantly larger than these other ones, so much so that it's actually causing water to drip out through the end right here. And this looks like it's pretty much about to explode. And if it was left unchecked, eventually it would explode. It would just split this hose right down the middle. And then every single time that you start your machine, you're gonna have water spilling all over your floor. So what that tells me is that something is slowing down the rate of water flow through this hose. And that's almost never an issue with the actual hose and almost always an issue with the detergent dispenser housing. So right now we know that this one is clogged up. And if you go ahead and you hit that start button again, it'll cycle to the next water inlet valve, which is going to be this one right here. This one isn't ballooning as bad, but it is dripping as well. And that's because pressure is building up inside that line, forcing the water out the end. You should be able to squeeze on this hose and actually, if you squeeze hard enough, stop the water from flowing through. This one is very firm and I can't stop the water. So that tells me that that one is clogged as well. We'll press it 1 more time. And that's going to move to this one right here. This is the hot water inlet valve. And so this one isn't ballooning. And when I squeeze it, I can actually slow down the rate of water flow. So that tells me that this one is okay. And then we'll press it 1 more time to check the last one, which is going to be this one right here. And we do that same test, and this one seems to be okay. The two that we were looking at that were ballooning were this one on this side and the one in the middle. And if you follow these lines, it's these two connections right here, which are the pre-wash and the main wash hoses. So if you are having this issue, it is common for it to be these two. I almost never see these two clogged up. So at this point, you have 2 options to try to fix this. The first is going to be to unclog this. And the second would be just to replace this detergent dispenser. So we want to go ahead and try to unclog it first, because if we can successfully unclog it, it's not going to cost any money for the repair. If it ends up being really bad and we can't unclog it, then you would have to replace this. So in case you don't want to bother with trying to unclog these and you just want to go ahead and replace this, I will put a link for this in the description for a shop that you can purchase it at on Amazon. But let's first see if we can just unclog it. So we just need to remove these hoses. There's clamps that hold each one of them on. You just want to keep track of where each hose is going so that you put it back in the same place that it came off of. So I'll start with the one on the end right here. And then disconnect the one next to it. Usually the buildup inside of here is caused by calcium deposits. Where I live in South Texas, we have lots of hard water. There's lots of calcium in it. And so you see this type of buildup regularly. So to clear these out, what I'll do is I'll take a Phillips head screwdriver and just shove it in there. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Phillips head screwdriver, as long as you find something small enough to be able to stick in there to unclog it. And when you put it in, if it's clogged, you'll feel, because see, this should slide in really easily all the way, and it stops right about there. So you just kind of push in until it goes in all the way, and that should unclog it. So we got that one. Now we'll do this one. Now, once you've done that, you can just reconnect your hoses and resecure the clamps. Just make sure that you get the clamps as far up the hose as you possibly can. Now that we've got it back together, I'm going to go ahead and put it back on the diagnostic mode and cycle through each one of the water valves to see if that took care of our problem. So we've got it in the test mode, and we're going to press it until it starts putting water back in. And now I can actually hear the water coming through at a faster rate than it was. This hose right here is the one that's pushing water right now, and it is not ballooning. And I can do that test on it where I pinch it, and I can actually change the flow of the water. And when I double check it, it's no longer leaking from over here anymore. And so we'll cycle to the next one, which is going to be, again, this one right here. It is no longer leaking from here. And I do that same test, and now I can squeeze it. It's not nearly as stiff as it was before, and I can restrict the water coming through. And so that puts us back exactly to where we need to be in terms of our washer not leaking and functioning properly. You're no longer at risk of your hoses building up pressure inside, ballooning, and then exploding. And you were able to do it in a matter of a few minutes without having to spend any money for a repair. Now, in the event that that didn't work out for you, or you just want to go ahead and replace this housing right here, all you have to do is pull this drawer out right here, and then take out the 2 screws that hold this in place. And then you can pull this back, and you would just have a hose down here that you have to disconnect, as well as these 4 hoses back here. So you would just pop all of those hoses off, get rid of your old dispenser, put your new one on. But again, you want to make sure that you label these before you disconnect them so that they're all running to the correct place that they should be. And then to put it back on, your housing has these 2 little plastic tabs on the side. Those plastic tabs are going to insert these metal holes right here, and then it will slide forward. And then you just have to make sure that this comes through the way that it's supposed to. Everything lines up. So that's all there is to it. Another simple repair that you can do yourself. Now, if you're at a point where your hoses have already ruptured and you're needing replacements, I'll look to see if I can find some on Amazon. And if I do, I'll put a link for them in the description. If you're unsure about anything that we've covered here, whether it's where to buy these hoses or this dispenser right here, or how to do any step of the process that I covered along the way, then please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section, and I will do my best to help you out. Thank you so much. We'll catch you next time.